So I just want to encourage you today. Listen, had another chance to make it at the top again. Didn't get the chance to face it. Ended in predicament. I cried, you cried. I wanted to make things go right, but now I had something in mind. Like why? Silly I, foolish I lived a lie. Broke the tie that kept me together. Can't take back. Happen now. I've got to move it on. So every time I wake up, I gotta tell myself what? Keep going, let it go, can't let it show. 'Cause to keep going now, I need to know if this is his love. Yeah, keep going, let it go, can't let it show. 'Cause I like y'all in the back. Keep going, this is my story. Fell in a trap that took me to a place I've never been. Filled every void with guilty. I was caught in my own fantasy. Reality did it for me. Disbelief it took me now. Silly I, foolish I lived a lie. Broke the tie that kept me together. Can't take back. No, happen now. I've got to move it on. Keep going, let it go, can't let it show. 'Cause what we doing? We keep going now. I need to know if this is his love. Yeah. 'Cause to keep going now, I need to know if this is his love. Gave up a chance of a lifetime, but there will be many other chances of a lifetime. I can't let this time of my life make me believe I won't have that chance of a lifetime. I'm in it, I won't quit. The past defeated, I'm in it, forgiven. So I'm here to encourage you all to do this. If you feel like giving up, I want you to do what? Keep going. If you feel like life's in a rut, I want you to do what? I want you to keep going. If you feel like giving up, I want you to do the keep going. You better celebrate you. Thank you so much. My name is Janelle with the apostrophe. You can be, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Katie. I love you all so much.
All right, I am Katy Rey, your professional hype woman and host for the day. Thank you, Janelle, for sharing your talents with us, your magic. And Sarah Stone, not only the brochures everybody got, she designed, but to have a friend with that accent and not utilize her to introduce you in a room, I would be the dumb one, let's just be honest. Thank you all for coming. I see a lot of new faces, super excited. I see a lot of returning guests. Welcome back, bitches, I see you. For those who don't know me, I'll be randomly calling you bitch, but it's a term of endearment, so please join. Celebrate You was created to bring all of you to one space for connection, community, acceptance, and nonprofit awareness. But I'm talking about all the stuff. Not just society milestones like babies and weddings. We can celebrate that. But I'm talking about everything you are in whatever season, even the heavy stuff, because you're here now, and we're happy you're here, right? And I don't want you thinking about the next best thing. I want you sitting in the now, really absorbing all that is you, and loving yourself even more while you're here. Don't look at the person next to you and be like, oh, they're doing that, I want to be like that. No, be yourself. You're the best at it. Okay, so that's why we're here today. For the newbies who are like, who dragged me here? Or why did I buy this ticket? That's why you're here. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm Katy Rey. I am a human. With every interaction I have with you, I want to leave you better than I found you. I want to pour my ridiculous amount of energy into you that is not caffeine, drug, or alcohol related, I swear to you. into you to remind you who you are, what you're capable of, and the magic that is you. And I show up like that in every room so that you have the safe space to show up as you. That's what I do. Check my references. That's how I roll. So you're here today because we're celebrating ourselves and because I love a stage. But I have two things I'm celebrating. And it's really important because I never have one, always two. But they're intertwined and they really complement each other. And for most of you out here that know, the first thing we're going to be celebrating is Fostering Hearts Florida. That's a little nonprofit that was started 3 years ago. You know, I was researching, I was talking to my friends like Kevin, who were formerly foster kids, really understanding the gap that are in the system, and it really hasn't changed a lot. There's just solutions that are provided and superheroes that we have out here today. And Fostering Hearts Florida provides education in a safe space so foster kids can catch up, build their self-worth, and of course, just be better humans for themselves. And we officially launched August 2024. What? And let me tell you, purpose chasing is hard. Where's Ambi Stevens? The quote, it's on a pillow. I don't know, she knitted it for me. Purpose chasing is hard. But if I wasn't doing the work and pouring into myself physically, mentally, and spiritually, you can't do the work. And that's why this year, this is about putting you first. You cannot show up for other people if you're not showing up for yourselves. Like, it just is what it is, people. You hearing me? All right, that's it, I'm done. I'm just kidding. So, I digress. Let's go back to Fostering Hearts. Let me tell you how the magic happened. It's magical. The universe is good, God is good, whatever you're doing, I accept you, but it's good. So, I went to meet other nonprofits doing the work. I went to Joshua House. They're not here today. They have a fundraiser, but they are amazing. They are a facility that houses 38 children. They're in Lutz. And it is magical there. Dee Dee, the executive director, I sat there and I was like, I want to bring a school here. She's like, then just do it, Katie. I was like, wow, knit that on a pillow too. Maybe I will. So I leave, and a friend of mine introduced me to two amazing women, both here today. Jamie Klingman, my board chair, who is an adoptive mom of a foster teen, Alicia. And Lynn Gonzalez, our board member too. She's there. She got her blue hair, purple hair. You know, he's here. But I talked with them and I said, listen, this is what I want to do. This is what's on my heart. I want to bring education to foster kids. And they said, okay, well, you want to further reach. We're doing supplemental programs. We're doing GED programs. We're doing life skill support. And I said, shit you not. Hell yes, we will. All right. And then I was like, okay. Jamie introduced my brother from another mother, Alan Peterson, whose mom was a social worker in Pennsylvania. And he said, I hear you. My mom created such a legacy in Pennsylvania. I saw it at her funeral, Miss Peg, and she was a social worker that gave to the kids, even when it was off duty. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I'm going to give you your first big donation to bring your educator. And I said, shut your mouth. And he said, yes. And then we have Liberty Kelly, our first educator. And all I said was, I had no plan. Nothing. We're meeting the kids where they're at. There's 12 boys we're starting with. You good? And she said, yeah, sure, let's do it. And I said, okay, universe. And I'm showing you the power of mindset, attitude, energy. What you pour out, you will get back. I promise it comes. There's a lot of hate out there, y'all. We got to surround ourselves with love and good energy. That's why this room exists. So here we are. And you know what's really important is someone was, excuse my language, were talking shit to me. They're like, I don't know why you do this mission. You weren't a foster kid. You weren't a foster parent. You didn't work in the system. You didn't have a rough childhood. I said some things in my head to that person, but I said, you know what? I said, my second thing I'm celebrating today is, you'll hear it in a second, is I said, I don't understand how we think children can build a support system and understand resources and just be okay if they've never seen the stability. Like, how do you, like, oh, okay, yeah, that person's good, that person's good. And let me do a fact check for you. Kate Spurlock, Assistant State Attorney for Child Victims Unit, is here today. Talk about superheroes. Her and her colleagues taking down perps, y'all. Taking down perps. So, for your child sex trafficking cases, can you give me the percentage that are foster youth? 84%. 84%. Do you know why? Community, vulnerability, connection, and love. They get them from the nasty, evil, disgusting pieces of shit, not Johns, the pieces of shit out there that are doing this. Do you get that? They need to know what connection looks like. They need to know what support looks like. Like, who shows up for you consistently? Is it like, come on. Also, thank you to all those lovely ladies back there. I see you. Because I'd go back to jail if I was doing that work, let's be honest. Okay, so the second thing I am celebrating, because 2025 is like, make it make sense, right? Like, just make it make sense. How do we show up for our kids? The second thing is my support system. I might cry a little, but I was born into magic. And you don't really notice it as a kid, but as you get older and you're just like, shit, this is awesome. We are beautiful and messy, and you guys probably all saw my family running around here, but like, my husband and kids, y'all are lucky too. Chris is shaking hands and kissing babies and filling drinks. I don't know, he's out there. But like, I was born into just freaking awesomeness. And I had my mom and dad, and in 7th grade, they divorced. And the whole world is just like, you're broken. You're in a broken home. Joke's on you, because I am extended, blended, more love than ever to just pour into people. And it is not broken. It is beautiful. My bonus dad, Scotty, in high school, him and his kids came into my life. I was doing hood rat shit with my friends, let's be real. He accepted me. Byron came into my life, my dad's husband, when I was married, and he didn't want kids, but you're stuck with us. I have a mom and dad who are badass in general, and then 2 bonus dads. And my siblings, listen, my girls, hey ladies. But my sister Christy told me if I did a shimmy or I squatted, I'd score on, don't worry. She was leaving the event. Don't let her leave, she helps too much. Amber, like, it's just, I have a built-in family, so I don't understand how people think kids who don't have that stability are just gonna get it, because this is what we do. We support each other. You need support. So I'm gonna remind you that support systems are not there for all the fluff. Yeah, they were there for my wedding. Yeah, they were there for my kids, my books being launched, my businesses. Woo, woo, yeah, everybody, high five, high five. They were also there when I got arrested and went to jail for drug dealing in college. Infertility, got IVF attempts where I got real quiet and confused. Infidelity in my marriage where they laid back and said, well, let them figure this out. This is what support systems do. And I encourage you to show up for yourself, show up for your community, and make sure you know what you need a support system to look like, because that is going to transcend into what you get surrounded. I was born into it, right? They're stuck with me. But we love, and it's family. I got my family out here since 3rd grade, high school, all that. They are a part of our family now. So if anybody needs that, find my family. They don't know I'm doing this, but like, find them. Become friends. Come to Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff, or whatever you celebrate. But I want you to hear that from me, because today is your day to really pour out that energy and receive that energy. And I want you to think, how are you showing up for yourself? How are you supporting yourself? Do you walk by the mirror and go, looking good today, girl? Because I do. That's how I show up for myself. Everyone needs a little encouragement. How do you show up for your loved ones? And how do you need people to show up for you? Support systems make you thrive. And at Fostering Hearts, that's what we're doing. We partner with other organizations like Maddie's movement, who helps the teens in foster care. We partner with Feeding the Fosters, that provides meals for foster families to get that stress off. And Pack the Love Foundation, is she here today? They do hygiene, suitcases, backpacks for foster kids. Like, it takes a large community. I'm not talking about one person. I'm talking about everyone. And we're going to continue doing the work. So we have 2 more locations going up this year and a GED program launching. So talk about it. Spread the magic. Spread the magic. I think I'm done. I think I said everything. Yes. Okay, I think I said everything I needed to say. I'm so happy all of you are here, and I'm so excited to share our speaker lineup with you to feel inspired. There's something about storytelling. It is a medicine. It is powerful. There is nothing you have to do but sit and listen. You don't have to act. You don't have to do. You just get to absorb the energy and just feel good. So I want to remind you guys, at the after party, at lunchtime, we're going to do our big picture out here. Don't forget, after lunch, we're going to do that after party. After we have gelato, snacks from Medina, Canna wedding events. Don't worry, there's nothing in there. And then, video photo booth. So please utilize the day to just spread your energy everywhere, okay? Do you want me to introduce our first speaker, or should I just hang out here? Okay, so our first speaker is talking about self-awareness being a bitch. Are we doing it still?
That was the end. I told you I edited it.
And also Celebrate Now. Both of them. She is amazing. I am so lucky to call her a friend. She is not just a mortgage lender. She is a real human that pours her heart into herself and everything that she does. Please give it up for Rachel Saylor Brown.
Celebrate you. How are you guys feeling? We got to give it up one more time for Katy. I couldn't. Thank you for being you and for bringing us here today. So, if you guys can hear it in my voice, I just got back from Mexico last night. It's a work trip. We can call it a trip loosely. But it's called President's Club, and if you reach a certain amount of sales in the year, the company sends you and a spouse, and my spouse, not just any, they send you to this resort, and they shower you with gifts and awards and tequila, and it's such a big deal for me to make President's Club. It's something that I worked so hard for, and just the feeling once I've achieved it. And as I was preparing for my time with you today, I realized that outside of President's Club or outside of being here with you beautiful people today, I really suck at celebrating. So you may say, well, then why are you on stage talking to us about celebrating? And I'll tell you, the first reason is that Katy really likes me, so deal with that. No, but the second reason is that I am self-aware, and it is a real bitch. But in the self-awareness, I've been able to implement things and sprinkle the celebration and the joy into the day-to-day so that we don't have to wait for this feeling for days like today, so that we don't have to wait for President's Club to feel that joy and the sparks that celebration brings. So we're going to do three things today. We're going to embrace celebration, we're going to acknowledge our badassery, and we are going to affirm that we are unapologetically, absolutely worthy of celebration every single day. So if you're ready, say I'm ready. So a celebration, there's two camps of people. You may be like me, who kind of no matter what is going on, it's always on to the next thing, on to the next thing. And then you may be in the camp that is over celebrating, right? Maybe bring it down a couple. But no matter which camp we're in, can we agree that we all must celebrate responsibly, right? Which is not what I've been doing the past week. So when we leave here, right, because today it's easy, we have all these feelings, we have all this incredible energy, but when we step away and our brain starts going and these doubts start to creep in and you hear, you're not enough, I mean, yeah, you're cool, but look at what these other people are doing. When those doubts start to trickle in, what I want you to think about, I want you to stop. And then I want you to repeat after me. When these thoughts are coming in, I want you to say, wrong thought, wrong time. Wrong thought, wrong time. Now with a little vibe, wrong thought, wrong time. Wrong thought, wrong time. And then embrace that quietness. Now that we have our quiet, this is where we get to acknowledge that we are badasses. Badassery. It's a good word, I think. So when you have this quiet, I want you to then think about shifting your thoughts to calling your best friend. And what would they say if you just laid it all out and said all the things that your brain was telling you? What if you called them and gave them all this? Would they give you grace? Would they hear you out? And you know, maybe a better way to think of it is, what if you called Katy Rey and said, and forgive me, y'all, Katy cusses, so I kind of cuss too. And what if you just said, hey, Katy, I'm really telling myself that I'm a piece of crap today, or I don't feel it, I'm not enough. What would Katy Rey say? That should be our other motto. What would Katy Rey say, right? Because the thing of it is, when we know and embrace the fact that we are worthy of celebration, it starts to have a trickle-down effect. And you start to spread that to the people around you, and you start to believe it. I'm a big word nerd, and as I was going through today to acknowledge our badassery, I looked up the definition of acknowledge, and when you break it down, to acknowledge means to accept and admit the truth or existence of. So I need you to know that it is the truth, that you have gone through so many things in your life. If I was able to pass this mic around, the stories that we would hear, the things that we've all gone through would leave everybody's jaw hanging. So the fact that you're here today, that you look so fantastic, by the way, have we said that? The fact that you're here, I know that you are worthy. I know that you keep showing up for yourself and your family and others. And what I want you to know is, if you don't take anything else from this time today, I want you to know that you're worthy of celebration. Whether it's a day that you get all the things done and you look your best and you're doing all the things, or it's a day that you can't get out of bed. You are worthy, whether you're parent of the year and brought all the snacks and did all the things, or if you're just hungover at a soccer game. I haven't been there. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, Katie's so non-alcohol related, and I'm like, so Kayla. Because maybe, just maybe, celebration is not about what you do, but celebration is about who you are. And you are so worthy of that today and every day. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this is a perfect time to point out that at every table there is something to fill out this year on what you're celebrating and your name. Take a picture of it, see it next year, whatever that looks like. Pass it around your table. But we didn't do badges this year because you all took forever figuring it out. And the line was through the parking lot, and everyone's like, can I get in for something? Like, what is happening? So that's why they're on your tables this year. Think about it before you write it down. Tag me in it. Do something. Okay, so for our next speaker, this is the male version of me. He is the CEO of BKN Creative. He is a photographer, an actor, a singer. Oh my God, he's so many things. I'm exhausted talking about it. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. This man right here is going to be talking to you about choosing your identity. Owning your identity to choose your destiny. Sorry, I fucked that up. I didn't mean to. But I love him. I adore him. He is one of the reasons Katy Rey.com exists. Come on, him and Brandon. Let's do this. Please give it up for Tydlaska Dziedzic.
Oh my fucking God. Well, unlike probably a lot of people in this room, I do like to cuss, so you are going to hear some cuss words. I'm super excited to be here, and Katie, thank you so much for having me. This is the first year I've been able to attend. Unfortunately, I missed the last two, sorry. But I'm here today celebrating, well, myself, but all of you as well. So what I'm talking about, well, I'm not gonna dive into that first. The first thing that I wanna do is, like Katie said, I'm the CEO of Became Creative, which is, at this point, the only LGBTQ-owned, 100% LGBTQ-owned, agency here in Tampa Bay that does creative marketing and advertising, which, cool for us, not so cool for Tampa Bay, right? Let's get some gay back in. But with that, one of the things that we like to do is a collective scream. So I want all of you to stand up real quick because you're gonna join me. And what that means is we are living in a fucked up time in the United States right now. I don't care who you voted for, hopefully not Trump, but regardless, shit's hard right now. It's pretty difficult. Every day in the news, you're seeing something and you're like, what the fuck is happening? So at our agency, whenever we have a moment where a client is maybe a little bit difficult, and we are, my husband Brandon is right here, we own it together, we are surrounded by powerful women. Powerful women, who, by the way, are better than men. So, what we like to do is release some of that anxiety. So we do what we call a collective scream. So I want to do that real quick with all of you. And I'm going to hold it for 5 seconds. And you're going to fucking scream. Okay? Here we go. Scream. Oh, it's like an orgasm, right? Okay, you can sit down. Sit down, sit down. Okay. Oh, don't we feel great? I know. So with that, let's talk about owning your identity. So when you think of identity, there's a lot of shit that makes up your identity. Where you're from, your political party, your religion, how you were raised, your friends. There's a lot of shit that says what your identity is. What's interesting though is that you can also choose some of those elements as well. But what does that mean? So when you look at me, what do you think? Definitely a homosexual, right? But I'm also from Roswell, New Mexico. Don't ever go there. I was raised in Colorado, but I'm also a former foster child. I was in foster care from 4 years old to 12 years old, and then I was adopted by some shitty people. And so I had a shitty adoption, which was failed. When I came out of the closet, because I'm gay, I got kicked out, and I was on the street. Only for 4 days, because I'm pretty resourceful and aggressive as fuck, so I got a job as a teller at a bank. Also, don't do that. But, with that, what I started to discover when I was younger was that these things that identified me, I started to shy away from. I would walk into a room and I'd be like, okay, how can I not be gay? Which is really hard to do when you're surrounded by hot men and you're like, wow. Oh, wow, oh, fuck. So, what I started to do was not shy away from that shit that identifies you. And there's good stuff that identifies you, and there's bad stuff that identifies you, right? You can choose some things, because your characteristics also define you. So like, am I a little overweight? Yep, for sure. Did I gain weight in my boobs for some reason? Yep, I did. So instead of shying away from those sorts of things, you need to start to own it. So what I want to do real quick in this room, start shouting some identifiers that you maybe shy away from. Don't all go at once. I'll point out my husband. Brandon, what identifies you? Homosexual. Okay. Who else? Survivor. Oh, that's... Jeans? High-waisted jeans. Oh, yeah, they're coming back. Okay. What is it? 60. Oh, love that. 60 and sexy, bitch. Okay. So, I know we're all shy, but that's okay. But what I want you to, what? Felon. I love that for you. Listen, Katie and I have gone over this. I was arrested when I was 9. I know, I was stealing cigarettes at 9. Huh? Infertile. Yeah, see? All these things that identify you that sometimes people will move away from because of what society has put on you that makes it bad. Being infertile, is that bad? No. Right, we have people that want to take IVF away for some fucking reason, but it's not bad. Being gay is not bad. Being a woman is not bad. So when people start to shy away from what identifies them, shit that's bad starts to come into their life more. You have to own the things. And I'll even say this, yeah, I hope none of you voted for Trump, but if you did, own it. That's okay, right? Own it. Don't be like, oh, I'm not gonna answer that question because I don't want the heat coming this way. Fuck that, own it. Take the heat, give it back. So, that's my first point. Own the things that identify you. Now, what's interesting about that is that you can also change some of the things that identify you. You can't change where you were born. You can't change how you grew up. I can't change that I was a foster kid. I can't even change that I was sexually molested as a child. I cannot change that, right? But you know what I can do? I don't know, not sexually molested as a child, right? Number one. But also do the work to help the people who are maybe in that same vulnerable position. But with that, some things I can change, like being overweight. Am I doing it? No. But I can change it. So the other thing that I want to talk about real quick is choosing your destiny. So like I said earlier, I'm a child of foster care. Now, I went into foster care for a reason. Do I talk about it a lot? No. Do I shy away from it? No. But I don't speak a lot about it because if I walk into a room and people look at me and they're like, oh God, former foster child, sexually molested, abused. Oh God, he's probably gonna do that to my children, so let me not. Let me stay away from him. So the thing that that is what I used to shy away from, right? I'm like, ugh, these identifiers about me, I need to hold off a little bit, right? But then I found myself being like the shell of a human, and I thought, okay, now's the time that I need to own it and now choose my destiny. So when I was in foster care, I had 2 biological sisters. Speaking of felons, both are now that. Fine. But they chose a separate path. And I remember when I was about 19, a year after I got kicked out of my adopted home. No, I don't talk to any of them as much now, because they're not very nice. But I decided at that time, okay, I can either go down a path that has been kind of destined, right? Foster care probably isn't gonna do very well, maybe doesn't go into education, maybe, acts out in certain ways. And when I was younger, sure. You know what I had a problem with? Lying. And you know what I did? Because it used to get some attention for me. And I'd be like, let me embellish this story a little bit. And it was always a little bit weird. And people were like, okay. But I was like, no, it really happened, I promise. No, it didn't. So what I started to do was check myself and be like, Kevin, stop doing that. But what I started to do even more was put some humility into it. And I would be like, and Brandon can attest to this, because I did it when we were dating. Past at this point, now that I'm almost 40, but when I was younger, I would say some stuff and I would embellish a little bit, and I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I just lied a little. And I did that purposely to make myself stop doing that shit. And what's interesting is, all of these things that have influenced your life and made you this certain identity, own it. But you can actually change your behaviors and how you live your life in the future. So while my sisters went down a certain path, I did not choose to go down those paths. It's difficult as fuck, believe me. Because oftentimes you're like, oh, you have a mom and dad, that's so nice. Oh my God, you have friends and family, and you've had them your whole life, cool. But at the same time, it's like, okay, that's your story. That's what you had. Mine's a little bit different, but I can choose my destiny now. So, who am I now? Definitely still gay, always will be. Probably will be overweight for a hot minute, that's fine. But I also created my own company. I'm the CEO of an ad agency that I developed with my husband. I am also a very proud uncle of all the kids my sisters had. And they're good kids. One of them is here, Brianna, and I love her. She is the oldest of my sister's kids, my oldest sister, Cassie. And it was a little bit rough for them, but I made sure that I was present and there for them, something that I did not experience as a child. So, CEO, I'm also an actor, fun, right? But I'm also business owner, uncle, I'm a mentor. I sit on the board of Fostering Hearts. I sit on other boards. You have to just sit on all the boards when you own a company. But there's a lot of things about me that I'm really happy about, including standing here in front of you. So my advice to you is, Own your identity. Who fucking cares? Felon, love you. Who cares, right? Great. Whatever these things that identify you that maybe you shy away from, stop shying away from it. Just own it. It's all good. If you made the decision or you are on a path that something has happened in your life, all good. Own that shit. And then what you do is choose the destiny that you want. You actually can choose a lot that you want in your life. Now, can we choose everything in our life? No, because wild shit is being thrown in your face all the fucking time, every day. That's okay. React appropriately, take it in, and then choose how you move forward. And that's my advice to you. So as you celebrate you, celebrate all the things. You got a club foot? Cool. Ingrown toenails? Great. Who cares? Own your shit. Own your identity. Choose your destiny. Okay, now fucking celebrate!
No, he's really shy, everyone. Sorry. It's hard to get him out of his shell. It's not aggressive at all. Thank you. Everyone, if there's any spots at your table, can you raise your hand? Raise them high. Anybody looking for a spot? Anybody looking for a seat? Anybody looking for a new table? I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, but I'm also kidding, but if like you need a new table. Okay, so for our next speaker, she is the founder of Maddie's Movement. I was introduced to her through another friend who you'll see on this stage one of these years, I know. And she is probably one of the most genuine, fierce women one of the just amazing humans you're gonna meet. She is going to speak to you about Power of the Pause, and that is the name of her book. How coincidental. But please welcome Effie Santos.
Good morning, Celebrate You. Can you feel the energy in the room? Thanks to Katy, right? Take a look around. Take a look around the room. It is filled with strength, resilient, and unstoppable women and some men. Each of you are unstoppable. The fact that you showed up today tells us that you're ready. You're ready to step into your power. You are ready to embrace your next chapter. And you're ready to stop waiting. You want to move forward for what you want. And I've been there. I get it. I spent 25 years building a banking career, climbed up the corporate ladder, did everything I thought I was supposed to do, and I felt so empty inside. Every time I went to take that leap to start my own business that I wanted for so many years, I said, the timing's not right. I'll start next year. My gosh, Effie, what if you fail? What will everybody think of you? So I was waiting for that magic wand to come to tell me it's time to start right now. I remember telling a friend of mine, I feel like this butterfly wrapped up in a cocoon. I so want to spread my wings far and wide. I didn't know how. The conditions weren't right, the timing wasn't right, and all I was doing was stopping myself from flying. And guess what? That magic wand, it never came. I had to make the decision to start. What if I told you you can start transforming your life today by just taking a pause? Yes, a pause. That doesn't mean stopping. That doesn't mean quitting. That means taking a pause long enough so you can find your clarity and your courage to take the next step forward. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you truly stopped? Not to take a sip of your coffee, your wine, or check your phone, but to truly stop, to reflect, reassess, and ask yourself, am I heading in the right direction? Who's done that before? Okay, good. We are so busy juggling our lives with our careers, with our families, that we never decide to hit the pause button. But what if I told you hitting that pause button will create the space for you to build something extraordinary? In that stillness, you will find the clarity and the direction you need to move forward. I decided to hit pause. I stepped into the unknown, I got uncomfortable, and I asked myself some powerful questions. Who am I outside of my career? What do I want my legacy to be? And what brings me pure joy? Those answers didn't just come overnight. I took the pause. I found my clarity, I found my courage, and I started my own business, that business that aligned with my values and my purpose. And then my life changed in an instant. On March 4th, 2021, I received that knock at the door that no parent ever wants to receive. It was 2 police officers telling me that my beautiful 19-year-old daughter, Madison, was in a car accident. She didn't make it. My life shattered. There is no way to prepare your heart for that type of loss. It is unimaginable and unbearable. In the depths of my grief, I had to come to a crossroad. I had to choose. Do I stay frozen in my pain? Or do I choose to take another pause? I chose to pause. That didn't mean pushing the grief away. It actually meant inviting the grief in, befriending the grief, and feeling those shitty feelings in the darkness and in the stillness. In that pause, the answer came to me. Madison, she was so spunky, she was so sassy. I used to tell her, Maddie, you were the trifecta. You were beautiful inside and out with a heart of gold, and her personality, if she walked in the room, it would just light up. She would make you laugh. And Maddie had big dreams and big goals. She wanted to change the world for teens in foster care. When she was in school, she recognized not all kids have the same opportunities as she did. She recognized we don't get to choose the color of our skin, who we're born, or where we are born. Maddie said, Mom, I don't have it all together, but I have a dream to change the world. And that is exactly what we are doing. Every single day, we are living out Maddie's legacy. We are living out her dreams through Maddie's movement, a nonprofit that supports teens aging out of the foster care system, providing them the resources and tools they need to be fully independent, not reliant on any type of system, because they deserve it, because they matter. They deserve the same opportunities as you and I. These pauses that I went through, these sour lemons that got thrown my way, the sweetest lemon that I chose to start my own business, these pauses is a roadmap to what I call the power of the pause. So whether you decide to do something or life does hand you the shittiest cards, the power of the pause will always help you move forward. I want to share 3 strategies with you, simple strategies that you can start today. Number 1, permission to pause. Don't ask your partner, your friend, your kids, your boss. Don't ask anyone to pause. The choice becomes yours. Pausing doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. It means that you're taking the time to recalibrate, get rid of the noise, and tune into you. The pause is your choice. Number 2, feel the fear and do it anyway. When I left my stable banking career, I said, what if this doesn't happen? What if I regret this? What if? But the fear of me staying where I was greater than the fear of me moving forward. Having courage doesn't mean that you're fearless. It means that you feel the fear and you do it anyway. Number 3, surround yourself with the right people. This is your lemon community. You find the people that will cheer you on, that will challenge you, and that will walk alongside you as you transform your life. If I didn't have my lemon community, I wouldn't be standing here right now. I wouldn't be where we are with Maddie's movement right now. How many of you like to ask for help? I don't. I hate it. I feel weak. We all have to ask for help from the right people. Those people that believe in you, those people that believe in your vision and your mission. Surround yourself with the right people for your dreams. Your moment is now. I challenge you to pause, reflect on what you want, find the courage, just take one small step forward, and surround yourself with the right people. Because let me tell you, transformation does not happen in isolation. The timing will never be right, you'll never have it all together, but you get to decide, I am ready. And my friends, I promise you, the life that you want is on the other side of that pause. You are capable, you are ready, and you are unstoppable. Thank you.
But speaker is literally going to talk about joy. And the reason I say literally, because she's doing laughter yoga and talking about joy, but I had to call Ilene because in November I was actually going to cancel this event because I was so overwhelmed. And then I was like, hold the phone. This brings me too much joy. You can't cancel joy. So her and Allie, her beautiful wife, run the Zest Zone. And check them out in your brochure. They are the masters of human design. But we're going to be led with Ilene Mitnick today. And she is pure joy. So come on stage, woman.
I see you, you're already smiling. How can you not feel that? Not that, but that. To prove to you that joy doesn't happen to you, it happens where? In you, from you. You get to spark it, you get to create it. I'd love to play it again, but. Okay, so I do love my skirt. And I will tell you that if you see little black discs around, they are falling off. They are.
Can we bring them back to you?
No, it's okay. So Katy asked me to speak after lunch. I am actually here to help you digest. And I'm going to make you laugh. I mean, literally. I'm not going to be funny. I'm just going to require you to start laughing. And I discovered, well, I was born into laughter. I was born into a beautiful family, and I grew up wheezing from laughing so hard. But over a year ago, I discovered the science of laughter and the laughter industry, if you will. It's been being researched since the 60s. But in 1995, this amazing biohack of wellness called laughter yoga came out by Dr. Madan Kataria in Mumbai, India. He was trying to deal with the levels of stress, and so we created a laughter club. And I'm going to say this fast because I have 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, so he went to the park with a group of people, and they told jokes. Well, 2 weeks went by. They met every week for 2 weeks. They ran out of jokes, and the jokes weren't funny. So we went back to the drawing board and decided to do his own research on what was coming out in the world of positive psychology, and he created his own laughter club. That was 1995. There are now over 20,000 laughter clubs in the world, in over 120 countries, and the Laughing Yoga Social Club is mine, and it's one of the newest ones. So real quick, because I'm going to make you do it, but laughter yoga is nothing more than, we're going to be raising our happiness set point. And science has cracked the code when it comes to raising that meter, raising that happiness set point, which is your natural baseline of joy. It goes up, it comes down. You win the lottery, you get that partner you're looking for, you get a raise, you lose the weight, whatever, but it always comes back down. So laughter is the quickest way to raise your own internal happiness set point. There are many other ways, but I'm going to show you this. It's free. It's our own bodies and brains. We have our own personal pharmacy. No copay. Laughter is still the best medicine. So, we talked about today, Katie said, can people do this sitting? I said they can do it in traction if they want. But if you stand, it's a lot easier. So, and again, the digestion, okay? Laughter yoga is great for digestion. It's great for sleep. It's great for anxiety. It's great for PTSD. It's great for blood pressure. It is great for a lot of things. And my favorite, it is great for getting that joy meter up. And I like to get it up. Okay. Well, anyway. So that's another presentation. That's another presentation. So, laughter yoga is not yoga. It is laughter, it is clapping, it is lots of eye contact, and it is deep breathing. That's the yoga part. So when I ask you to inhale, I want you to take a nice deep inhale, but through the nose, and let the bellies out. This is my identity, right, Kevin? Like, I'm letting my belly out. We women do not let our bellies out enough. So we inhale, and then we're going to exhale, we're going to laugh. Okay, that is me laughing. That is not me being funny. So, all right, but we're going to deconstruct it. If you want to stay seated, you can. If you want to be regular and go to the bathroom tonight, you're going to stand. No. Okay, so, are we ready? Okay, inhale. All right, but you're going to stand with me, okay? Let's deconstruct this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with clapping.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, I want 5 really powerful claps. Hands up. Are they buzzing? Yes. You're hitting every acupressure point that's attached to every point in your body. The blood is flowing. The oxygen is going. The dopamine has started. The oxytocin has started. Put your hands down. Smile like you have the best news. Right now, smile. I want crow's feet.
And look at somebody next to you and give them a smile. Just do not break that smile. I hear laughter. This is good. Okay. All right. So now you have what it takes. We need laughter, eye contact, we're smiling, and we're going to laugh. Okay, and we might even chant. I'm going to give you one quick chant. And this is childlike. This is supposed to be childlike. We're bringing out our inner kid. The average 4-year-old laughs how many times? Take a guess. A lot. 400 times. The average 40-year-old, how many times do you think the average 40-year-old laughs? 10. Between 12 and 17. Let's shatter that. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, so, all right. Inhale. Nice deep breath. And give me a light laugh on the way out. And laugh until you can't laugh anymore. If you cough or you yawn, you're in good hands. You're doing it right. Right? You're a breathing specialist. Okay. Inhale. Give me a medium laugh. Okay. Inhale. Give me a big extra large laugh. Yes, she does live with me still. Okay. All right. Oh, you're doing fabulously well. How many more minutes? Oh God. Okay. Real quick. All right. We're gonna let's break it down. Close your mouth, and I want you to laugh through closed lips. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Inhale. Laugh out the left side. Inhale. Laugh out the left side. Right side. Open your mouth. Now, you might think it's counterintuitive to be laughing when maybe times aren't so great, when you're scared, when you're just bummed out, when you don't know what to do or where to turn. And I'm here to tell you that science, and I said this, has cracked the code. Laugh when you think you least need it, and laugh when you think you most need it. All right, I'm just gonna, because I think we're at my time. So I think what we're gonna do is, because it's February and it's a month of love, it's only one of 12 months of love, I want us to make little hearts with our hands. And as we make a little heart, we're gonna do a little laugh. And then as we make a bigger heart, we're gonna make a bigger laugh, okay? I'll lead it. Keep on laughing.
Correct? It's powerful. We have Scott Tavlin coming up on stage.
I need everybody right now, on your feet, everybody, if you're able to, please stand. I need everybody's hands up in the air, clapping, and clap, 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 clap. Now find somebody to your left, say you believe. I need you to find somebody to your right and say, I'm glad you're here today. I need everybody right now placing their hand over their heart and say, I'm worthy. Go ahead and grab a seat, y'all. Make some noise for yourself showing up today. Yeah. It is truly an honor to be able to spend some time with you today, and I want to say thank you. If I haven't been able to talk with you yet, my name is Scott Tavlin. I am the morning show host on Magic 94.9. At one point, a dream. It was the one idea, the one thing that finally felt right. Has anybody here ever felt like they were disaligned with the thing that they were doing? You can raise your hand and say yes. Yes. Man, when I was in school, I was going after a career that when I would share it with other people, everyone smiled. Everyone told me that this is exactly what you're supposed to do. The problem was I was sitting in class and I was falling asleep. The professor would come up and scream at me, wake up! And at first I was like, wait, is something wrong with me? Am I dumb? And I realized it wasn't that I wasn't smart enough to pass the classes. I wasn't aligned with what the class was trying to get out of me. I wanted to come here and speak because what I have found is that we tend to be the first one that takes us out of a goal that could change our life. We tend to be the first one that decide what's truly possible for us. The first person that ever believed in me more than I believed in myself was my mom. Do we have any incredible moms here tonight? Raise your hand, make some noise for them, y'all. See, when I was in school trying to figure out what I wanted to do, a friend finally told me to use my voice and check out the radio station on campus. I walked in, and I kid you not, it was like fireworks went off. All of a sudden, I saw the microphone and the speakers and the buttons, and I thought to myself, this is it! All those other classes that I was failing, I was worried I was going to get kicked out of school, and here I am, looking at my dream right in the eye. I started sharing with people that I'm going to be a radio host. I'm going to be the best one there's ever been. I'm telling you right now, I found my career. The problem is when you share your dream with other people, two things could happen. I had a lot of people that told me right off the bat, you? Famous? You? Making money on the radio? And the one person that always believed in me was my mom. Anytime I told her I was going to go after a big dream, she said, if anybody could do it, it's you. And I'm so glad that she instilled that belief in me because that was the first time I allowed myself to go after something that not everybody agreed with. The reason you showed up today is because you know you have something inside you that this world needs. We have so many incredible speakers. I'm sitting back there just truly inspired by the work that you do, changing lives. We need these voices. We need you taking action. We need you leading the way for others to show them what's possible. See, when I started going after my radio career and I finally started to prove to myself that I'm worth it, one of the hardest days of my life happened. It was October 18th of 2020. It was my 24th birthday, but there were no party hats, there were no balloons. I was walking up and down a hospital hallway. Doctor, I'm looking for a room with Debbie Tavlin. 202? Okay. And on that day, I had to say goodbye to my mom. I held her hand for the last time, and I just told her that I would do anything in my power to live out the dreams that I know you empowered me with, that I knew you believed that I could make happen. It was the hardest day of my life. I drove home that day and I just screamed. I was so mad. I felt like I was doing everything right. I was going after the thing I felt like was right for me. I finally believed in myself. And as I got home, and my dad and my brother, we sat there in the living room and just stared at each other. Just completely engulfed in grief. If you know that feeling, say, I've been there. See, so many of us have gone through those painful moments. And in that painful moment, I knew as the days passed that I needed to do something. See, I felt my heart literally breaking in pieces. I got so tired of the pain in my heart, I said, I need to get out of here. Let me go ahead and just do something. Something that could take the pain out of my heart, put it somewhere else, so I just started running. And as I ran, I just decided, I was like, if I could just put enough pain in my legs and out of my heart, then you know what, maybe I could switch around how I'm feeling. But what I learned when I was running is you can't run away from grief. You can't run away from pain. But you could decide to take purpose from pain. As I started running, I started thinking to myself, man, we got the holidays coming up. This is going to be the first Thanksgiving without Mom. And as I ran, that thought just slowly just crushed me. But then another thought came. I've been given this platform. Every single morning, I get to get on and be one of the morning show hosts here in Tampa Bay. Voted best radio host here in Tampa Bay. Can I get an oh yeah? Man. Once an impossible dream, but you know who believed in me? My mom. And in that moment, I knew I was given this platform not just to celebrate myself, but what could I do for others? And so as I started running, this idea started to create itself. I was like, wait a second, what if I did the impossible, my impossible? I get on the radio, I tell people to go after their dreams, go for the thing that lights them up inside, because that's what life's worth. What if I showed people what that looks like in real time? As I finished that run, I decided, I'm going to run a marathon. Ooh. I'm going to run a marathon to make sure that families get to gather for the holidays. That they get to sit around as a family. Nobody has to be out working. We don't have to make sure that we can put food on the table. I will provide it. And I was so excited for this dream, I got home and I just told my dad all about it. I was like, Dad, guess what? I'm going to run a marathon. He said, what? I said, no, I'm serious. I'm going to run a marathon, and we're going to do it to raise money with Metropolitan Ministries. And he said, dude, I love your ambition, but you've never run that far. Not even close in your life. What makes you think you know how to do it? See, the first thing, whenever we come up with a goal, an idea, a dream, all of a sudden we ask how. Let me go ahead and tell something right now. How is none of your business. Everybody say, how is none of your business? See, as soon as we ask how, all of a sudden we're just kicking down the door and saying that dream's not real. See, what I realized in that moment, it wasn't about how, it was about why. Ooh. I realized it didn't matter what it took. I needed to make this happen. Because the pain in my heart needs to make sure that families get together, because I don't get that anymore. I had 2 months to make this happen. So I got on Instagram and I just asked the platform, the community that I've been so grateful to have. And I said, look, I'm trying to go after the impossible. I'm trying to run a distance that I've never done. I'm trying to raise money. Just me. Will you help? And as the months started to go by, my dad and I would just hit the neighborhood, and I would just run and he would ride his bike. I would just run, he would ride his bike. And then it happened, December 20th of 2020. This was COVID times, if you remember. There was no official races, but I hit up Upper Tampa Bay Trail. It was 6 a.m., my dad on a bike, my brother, sister-in-law, and aunt in the parking lot, and I took off for the first time, that first step. to go after the impossible, to show people what it really looks like to go after a dream? What happens if we just decide, even when we're scared, we're courageous enough to just take a step toward the impossible? I took that first step. One step turned into 6 miles, 6 miles turned into 16, and all of a sudden I was walking like that baby giraffe. You ever see those videos? My legs did not want to move another step, but in that moment I remembered my why. See, the thing that's going to carry you through this year, the years to come, as challenges pop up on whatever endeavor that you're going after, you have to remember why you started it. Every single person in this room, I know you have a powerful why. I know there's somebody that you're thinking of that needs you right now. See, I like to break it up into 3. I know there's somebody that is younger that's looking up to you. I know there's a reflection in the mirror every single day that's looking back at you. I know a lot of y'all are like me. You got an angel looking down at you. I think anything's possible when you remember why you're actually doing it. So as those miles started to come and mile 16 came and my legs didn't want to move, I looked up at the sky and I said, Mom, give me the power. One more step, one more mile. I got a purpose right now. Slowly, I looked down and I saw a number that I'd never seen in my life. I looked down at my watch and I saw 26.2 miles. The best part is, though, I looked at my phone right after that and I saw we raised nearly $10,000 for Metropolitan Ministries. Let's go! Come on! See, it's the impossible. It's the thing that whenever we think about doing it, all of a sudden we get a little scared to go after it. But I'm telling you right now, trust yourself to see what happens beyond the step. From then, it's just become a tradition now. Whenever I get on the radio, my listeners know that I have a crazy idea that we're going to use to change somebody else's life. They saw me do the marathon, and so they asked, what's next? Man, y'all put me under a lot of pressure. I decided, fine, let's raise the bar. I heard about this race. It's called the Ironman. It's one of the hardest races in the world. A 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bike ride, and then, why not, finish it off with 26.2 miles. As soon as I saw that race, I thought to myself, I want to do that. And the same thing, I told my dad, he said, no, are you kidding me? An Ironman? I was like, yeah. I told my girlfriend, she looked at me with like pain in her eyes, she's like, you're gonna die. I said, we're doing this to show people what happens when you go after the thing that seems impossible and you're the one that makes it possible. You decide, I don't know how to do it, but I will find a way. And I remember my why. Through an entire year of training. Maybe if you watch the news, there's a point in August of 2023 where I was passed out by the Courtney Causeway. Oh, it was horrible. The sun got to me, y'all, but I learned a very valuable lesson. As I was laying there, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make this Ironman thing happen. I was supposed to be at the finish line. Here I am, just baking on the pavement. I knew in that moment, just like you're gonna have later this year, you could either give up or you could get up. And so I decided I'm gonna get up and keep on going. November 4th of 2023, I looked out at the Ironman start line. I was so scared I peed myself in the wetsuit. God. But I took off into the water, and with any goal, you're always gonna have something that pops up and smacks you in the face, and mine was a jellyfish. Right on the lip. My lip got all swollen. I got out of the water after the 2.4 mile swim. I got on the bike 112 miles. Here we go. I was having the time of my life. I was screaming like I was on a roller coaster. Woo! Up and down the hills. And then I got off the bike. I thought my legs were tired after the marathon. I couldn't even walk. I got off the bike and all of a sudden everything locked up and I'm stepping like this. And I needed to remember why I started this. See, on my jersey, it said, in honor of Mom. With that race, already up until that point, we were already able to feed over 1,000 families. I said, I need to make this happen. So I took off on the run. Any goal that you have, I told you, don't worry about how. Just remember, if I could take one step after another, I can make anything happen. Step by step, mile by mile. After 13 hours and 44 minutes, I saw the Ironman finish line. I ran through with my arms up in the air, and I heard the phrase that I've been waiting a year to hear. Scott Tavlin, you are an Ironman. Let me hear something. Yeah. I share with you Not all that because I'm telling you to do a marathon or an Ironman. I'm telling you that because maybe there's something that you need to go after that you've been waiting too long to do. Maybe it's a career change, a business, a relationship. What is that next impossible that you're going to make possible? And my main question is, after today, how long are you going to wait till you take that first step? Y'all, thank you so much for your time.
All right, and this beautiful woman, Catheline Dixon, come on up.
Hello, everyone. Are we excited to be here today? That was pathetic. I'm gonna need us to do better. We've danced, we've had food, we're getting ready for more stuff. Are we excited to be here today? Thank you. I need to start by sharing like a fun fact, right? Before I have you do all the work that I'm gonna have you do, because you're gonna work with me. It's the teacher in me, I'm so sorry. Last year, I attended the event, and after meeting Katie at another event, right? Talk about mingling, and left here in complete disarray. I was hysterical, I was crying in the car, I got home, my husband's like, what the hell? Did you go to an event? What's going on? I said, I did, it was beautiful. And he's like, so what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know what to do next. And he's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, I feel good, but in this good feeling, I don't know what to do now. Like there's something that I really want to do since self-retiring. I said it, self-retiring from the classroom after 13 years. But I don't know how to do it. He said, well, what was your luncheon about? I said, well, it was about empowerment, celebrating you. He's like, well, then just fucking go over. I'm like, God. He's a Marine, you gotta excuse his mouth, it is what it is. You know, and he's like, just do it. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? And I did. And then I told myself my goal is next year, I want to be able to reach out to Katie and say that I did it. And I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit. I emailed Katie and I said, hey, Kathleen from last year, here's the selfie we took. We look great. And I want you to know that I did it. And she's like, did what? I celebrate you. What did you do? And I was like, I published the book that I have been wanting to do for a little under 20 years, right? I don't want to like say exactly because then it makes me remember how old I am. But I did it, and I published it. So I say all that to say, my hope for all of you today, prayer, hope, wish, whatever foundation you stand on, is that you walk away today truly feeling empowered, centered, loved, seen, and clear of mind, of body, of spirit, so that you all can walk away today taking the first step towards whatever it is that you are inspired to do, so that next year, Katie can be overwhelmed with obnoxious emails like mine, with all the selfies, so that she remembers who's who, so that we can celebrate more accomplishments here. So I want to start with that piece. That's my hope for all of you. Now for some work, right? Because we have to do that. All right, I'm going to ask you guys to play in my reindeer games with me a little bit. I'm going to give first the directions, and then we're going to do it. I want you to take a moment, in a few seconds, we're gonna close our eyes, and I want you to picture that you are in a room, and one of the top people you love, because sometimes we can't say favorites, even though we all have them, but think of one person you really, truly love, and I want you to just envision that you're in a space, and it's just you and them, okay? And when you do that, I'm gonna count to 3, and you are going to tell them, you don't have to say it out loud, you can say it in your mind, right? One reason why they are loved. And it can't be physical, it can't be, oh my gosh, girl, you look fabulous, you know? Or thank you, babe, for like washing the dishes. Like one true reason, like their core, their center, why they loved. All right, so I need everybody to close their eyes. And I'm gonna count to 3 and I want you to do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. When you're done, you can open. Was that a difficult task
for anybody? No, it's pretty easy, right? That was simple. All right, here comes the hard part. I want you to go back into that room, and I want everybody to close their eyes, and I'm gonna give the directions, and I just want you to listen to me, but have your eyes closed, so close your eyes, please. You are in this room now, but you're by yourself. There is a mirror in front of you. The person you see in that mirror, tell that person why they're loved. 1, 2, 3. You can open. I can tell by a couple of faces, might not have been as easy, right? Too often do we pour into other people. Too often is it nothing to compliment. Tell someone why you love them. Tell someone why you care. But are we as quick to do it for ourselves? Are we as quick to be able to tell ourselves, why am I loved? Why am I worthy, right? And too often do we confuse self-care with self-love. There's nothing wrong with self-care. You need it sometimes. Your girl needs to change her hair about every other day, you know, depending on my mood, my color, right? Self-care is so important, but self-love is even more so. And sometimes, right, it's thought of as being selfish, right? Taking time for yourself, right? Gosh, man, you know? Or, I don't know where to start, right? I spent 13 years in the classroom. At year, hold on, I gotta do math. I only know money math. Hold on a second. 10? 10, year 10. Year 10, I walked into the best chapter of my life, which was motherhood. I had my daughter. Pregnancy was a little difficult. She just wanted a dramatic entrance. That's all it was. She wanted a dramatic entrance. She's her mother's daughter. Please pray for me. We are now officially 6, and my mom got her wish. I'm getting everything I gave her. I've apologized a lot. I became a mom. Loved it. Super excited. I was like, badge of honor. Wife. Hot wife at that. You're welcome, babe. Now I'm a mom. Boom. I'm about to be a MILF. Great. I'm celebrating this. My dreams are coming true. Yeah, excited. Keep going. I'm teaching self-love because that was a contractual agreement. I'm doing life skills for my kids at the at-risk youth school. Shout out to Pay Center for Girls. Worked there for 5 years, my last 5 years. That's what I did, right? I did that from the very beginning. I was 19 years old. I graduated high school early, hit the ground running, teaching Title I schools. I wanted my baby, my day-day, and my shay-shays. That's what I wanted. I wanted to pour into them. And then a couple years go by, daughter turns 3. Now I'm stepping into motherhood again, this time by choice. She was a surprise. My son was not, he was planned. But this time I had to make a choice. I had to say, okay, the space that I'm in, I can't bring another child in. You know, your girl has a couple complications of pregnancy. I'm gonna have to like sit down. I'm gonna walk away from the classroom. And I started working from home, corporate training. Yay, big dollars. And in those moments, I realized, ooh, wait a minute. The feeling that I had postpartum my daughter, I never fully shook. I call it the postpartum blues, right? I'm gonna share with y'all a little bit. I never shook it. And then the tumbleweed effect started happening. Crap, I never shook it. Okay. Crap, now we're trying for another one. Oh, okay, great, I'm about to be a mom of 2. Oh, okay, great, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna carry this? I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm all these things. And I don't have the distraction of my classroom to just pour into my students every day, right? Come home and pour into more people. I'm home now, working from home life. But what do? Do I have more to give? And I realized I had spent 13 years teaching the idea of self-love, self-worth, and I couldn't stand on a foundation of realization of what mine was. I had poured for so long into everyone else. I don't know what that is for me. Why am I worthy? Why am I worthy of love? And in the moments after my daughter, when I had those thoughts that would kind of become really intrusive, I would find something to distract myself. You know what I mean? Like, find something else. Tuck it away, don't deal with it, keep going. But now I'm faced with, okay, I'm trying to have another. Is that the healthiest thing to do? So I'm excited, right? Because took some time, took some journey, self-reflection, and I figured it out, right? There is no exact answer. There is no recipe. I figured out that one, it's okay to walk in the unknown. It's okay to say, I don't know why I'm worthy. I don't know what my self-love is. But understanding that I need it, understanding that it's going to take leg work to get there, and it's going to take forcing myself to pause for a moment every day and think about me. And then two, understanding that it changes as we change. We as human beings, we evolve. It's life. It is science. There's probably a scientist out there who paid attention in science class who can give you the statistics. I'm not. But it's science. We evolve as people. We go through paradigm shifts in our lives. Understanding self-love is not a goal. It is a living, breathing project. So it's understanding that it requires constant work, constant quiet time, constant turning inward. It is not something you achieve and then you say, oh, boop, there it is, self-love. I know why I'm fabulous. I know why I'm worthy. And it's done. Because the next goal you accomplish is going to change you. The next badge you earn in life will change you. The next pivot you make will change you. So you'll have to reconnect with yourself. But it's also understanding that the work is needed. We can set out all the goals we want in life. We can earn all the badges that we want in life. We can celebrate those moments. Don't take away from that. Do it. You need it. You're worthy of it. But please understand that the foundation for true success is standing on self-love. Being able to know why you are worthy, why you are loved, why you are connected with other people, and allow yourself the grace to take the time to do that legwork. It is not selfish. It is not egotistical. It's not being cocky. It is needed. Because what will happen is, and I'm sure some have experienced it, you give and you give and you give and you give and you give, and then what? Your cup runneth empty. And then now you're trying to do things to fill it back up. Take a trip, hang out with friends, and sometimes those things still don't fulfill you. You get a great outfit, you stand in the mirror, it still doesn't look quite right. And it's not because you're not fabulously shaped in the way that you were made to be, but it's because you don't see that value in that mirror. So the same way that you're able to think of a loved one, and in 3 seconds, give them a reason why they are loved, why they are worthy, I am challenging you to take the time on a daily basis. I said it, daily. I'm not gonna tell you when. Some people are morning people, some people do it in the afternoon. If you're my husband, you do it when you're on the toilet for your nice poop of the day. If you're like me, you do it when you're in bed at night getting kicked by both kids because they both still sleep right behind me. They're trying to crawl back in. You know, that's my quiet time. But you take the time during the day. You have to. It is as essential as breathing to think about your self-love, your worth. Why am I loved? Why am I important? And if you don't know, that's okay. Do the legwork. Think about it. If you need to write it out, write it out. If you need to sing it out, sing it out. If you're like Scott and you work out, go ahead. I'm not that great. You can do that for me. But you do what's good for you. But you give yourself that time. Because in 24 hours of the day, how many other people have you poured into? A lot. But did you do it for yourself? There's the analogy, before I give you my outro activity, because y'all gonna work, about the cup runneth over, right? But what we need to sometimes understand, it's not that your cup gets so full that it runs over. It's that people get the run over of a full cup. Your cup needs to be full for people to get anything additional. Not that the cup gets so full that it's just like imploding. It's, oh my gosh. No. People get the run over of your full cup. There is not enough spa days in the world. There is not enough self-made wigs. There is not enough trip with friends and family that can fill that cup. That cup needs to be filled by you understanding your value, your worth, why you're loved, and why you're connected to people on this earth. I don't care how big or small your family is. I don't care how married, single, multi-married you are. Okay? Polygamy is coming back, apparently. It's a thing now. It's a new thing. I told my husband over my dead body. But, right? Doesn't matter. We're all connected. You have made a ripple effect in someone's life. Complimenting someone's hair, saying hi, that chit chat at Publix in line with someone that made an effect in someone's life. You connected. Which means you are worthy. So I challenge you all to take the time to do that every day because it's necessary. So in your bags, you're going to find a little like cellophane baggie. And if it wasn't folded perfectly, I'm sorry. That's 260 of them I made. Some of them are a little crooked, I'm just saying. And there's like a black and white lacy pretty card with directions, and there's a ink pen and a little acrylic keychain. What I would like for you to do, and you don't have to do it now, because you may not have anything to write on it now, but I challenge you to at least try. On that acrylic round, I want you to write one reason why you are loved, why you are worthy, why you are important. And it cannot be anything of the physical form. I'm sorry. It cannot be anything superficial. It cannot be career-based. And it cannot be because of something you did for someone else. I want you to think about you. And if you're like, Kathleen, that's like really great, but like I don't have anything to write, okay. Then I challenge you to take it with you and not discard it, but put it somewhere where you can come back to it and you can think about it. And give yourself that time to do the reflexive work so that you understand and you can begin to connect with your why. I am honored to be here with you all today. It has been a pleasure connecting with you all, and I'm extremely excited to continue to hear about all the amazing and fabulous things that some of you will be doing. I am excited for all of your journey, and I truly hope that you all walk away today not only feeling ignited, but knowing that you are seen, you are loved, you have connected with someone, and you are all worthy. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much.
We love her. Thank her for coming. And please welcome Liz M Lopez.
So I want to start with some thank yous. And my first thank you has to go to my bestie in the world, Tracy Thompson, who owns a fitness studio, because without her, I would not have the upper body strength to hold this microphone for 15 minutes. Thank you to Nicole, my incredible project manager, who made sure we had all the things we needed to today, and my entire table of supporters. Thank you to Katy for having me here today and letting me steal your chair. I'm glad you got another one. I was really worried that she was going to have to stand in those heels for 15 minutes. And I want to thank all of you for being here today, right? Because it's not always easy to give up a Sunday and do something like this. And we all have different energy levels. And I know that for some of you, you got up this morning, you were ready to go. You're ready to be here. You've been here before. You knew what it was about. You were excited. But sometimes we're not that energetic, right? Sometimes we're laying in bed and we're thinking, why the hell did I say I was going to that thing? Right? Because, you know, the person that we are when we say yes isn't always the person that we are on the day we gotta show up. Right? Because there's so many demands on our energy. We're daughters, we're sisters, we're mothers, we're partners. And you know, we just have so many things that we're expected to do, and we're expected to just show up all the time and look good and feel good and be good and take care of all of the people. And we damn well do it great. We better be great at it, because there's a million voices out there ready to tell us how we're doing it wrong. Right? And it's just a constant barrage of what's right and what's wrong, and it just gets to be exhausting. Right? I know that I have had times when I think to myself, you know, I love my life, I love my wife, I love my puppies, my kitties. It's all so great. I love what I do. I love my clients. And sometimes I'm just so fucking tired. Right? Have you been there? Have you had a time when you just thought to yourself, just so tired? Because all of that stuff out there, all of those messages, all of those demands on our energy, and all the different ways we have to split ourselves, and with everything going on in the world, it creates all this messaging on the outside, but all that outside pressure can become internal beliefs. And those internal beliefs sink into you like horrible splinters on your soul. And we start to behave in ways that respond to the pain of these splinters. Right? We get really caught up in self-doubt and thinking about whether or not we're good enough to do something, to be something, to show up somewhere. Right? We start to question how good we are at things. In 2018, I was working with a client, and she was a CIO, that's a Chief Information Officer, that is the top technology person in the company. And she'd been doing this for 11 years. She wasn't new at this. She'd been doing it for 11 years. And we were working together because she was being recruited for another job. She had to interview for it. It's a much bigger role. And as we're going through the discovery process, coaching her through this journey of rising as an executive, I discovered that she had developed technology that had allowed her company to sell new products and make millions in new revenue. And she told me, don't put that on my resume, I can't talk about that. I'm like, the hell, we're not gonna put that on your resume. And I questioned this. What I found out is that throughout her time at this company, she's been told, you're IT, you don't deal with the money, stay in your lane. So we had a conversation about saying to hell with the lane, and we built this brand, and she got that job. She got that incredible job, and a few years later, we did it again, and now she is the CIO for one of the biggest companies in America. Right? Because we have to be really careful about the times that people are telling us who we should and should not be, right? We have to own our identity. And this experience with this client, with so many more, just got me thinking about how sometimes we just don't show up for ourselves. right? We water ourselves down. And in my time of working with both men and women in corporate world and as business owners, I've discovered that there's a difference. And this happens to the guys too, but just not as much. But women will water themselves down until they are insignificant in their own stories. And it really made me mad. So I sat down one night and I wrote out these 7 permissions. And it just got me fired up thinking about this. And all of you in your bag, you have this. You have a little piece of paper. Well, you have a beautiful little pink bag. And in that pink bag, you have this paper, which are 7 permissions. And you don't have to look at them now, but I want you to read these. Because these 7 permissions can unlock you. And I want to tell you a little bit about them. Right? So the first permission is permission to fail. Because if you don't give yourself permission to fail, you will never reach for something big. Second permission to be supported. Because you have the right to ask for what you need. Right? Third permission to take baby steps. Because doing it slow is still doing it. Permission number 4. It's one of my favorites. You get to be confident. You get to feel confident exactly as you are, right here today. You don't need anything else. You don't need another certification. You don't need a job. You don't need an award. You don't need nothing. You can be confident today as you are. Right? Thank you. Permission to prosper. Because you came into this world with the divine right to make a lot of money. A lot of money. Yes, thank you. The next one's a little hard. It's permission to walk away. Permission to walk away from that which no longer serves you. And I know that in my life I've had to do that. Yeah. I've had to walk away from a partner. I've had to walk away from a job. I've had to walk away from a state I thought I would retire in. All right? The walking away, it can be brutal, but it also can be liberating. Right? And it all adds up to the 7th permission, which is permission to succeed. Right? Because if you walk through those other permissions, you get to the point where you really are free to just grow and to be who you needed to be. And it's an exciting journey. Now, all of you, if you've heard this, some of you reacted to one more than other. It hurt. Some of them hurt you. Some of them hit you. Some of them excited you. But I'm going to talk to you today about my favorite permission, which is permission to be supported. When I was listening to Katy open up and she talked a lot about support, I'm like, we are in tune. We got this, right? Because look, the truth is, and Effie talked about this too, we do amazing things in our lives, but we often suck at asking for help. Right? And it's a little bit different for men and women. It has been my experience, my 15 years now as a coach. I hear it so often, and I've even seen this happen in my own family, where I'm going to give you an example of a family of a mom, a dad, and some kids. If dad has something big going on, right? He's going to get a promotion, he's working on a big project that everybody knows. The whole household knows, the uncles know, the dad knows, his parents, everybody knows he's got this thing going on. And there's a lot of quiet time allowed for dad, and don't make noise, dad's working, and actually we're going to leave the house today because dad's got to work on his project. But women build their dreams in the dark. So often, women have never even told their families what they're working on. They get up early in the morning before everyone gets up. Or they work late at night, or once they've taken care of everybody else in the world, and they've gone to work and they've done all the things, and then at night, they go into the kitchen, they open up their laptop, and they just quietly type away and try to build their dreams. And sometimes it's just you, right? Maybe you have a family, maybe you have a big family, a small family, maybe it's just you and your beautiful puppy. You still get to ask to be supported. There's still people in your life that if they understood what you needed, they would go ahead and provide that. At least try to, right? Because look, sometimes they're just not that great at it. But they'll try. I did a workshop on Permission to Dominate a few years ago. And after the event, a woman who had attended came up to me. And she told me, I'm doing it to myself. And she described the fact that she gets up in the morning, she gets everything ready for her family, she takes her kids to school, and while her kids are at school, she comes home and she works on her business. And she has a really, really successful business. And then she wraps up her day and she goes and picks up her kids from school. And when she picks up her daughter gets in the car and says, Mom, how was your day? And she looked at me and she said, Coach Liz, I don't answer her. I say something silly like, oh, it's fine, it's great. And then I focus on her. What you do today, what you learned, how was your friends? And I always thought I was doing such a great job because, I was giving all my energy to her. But I just realized today that she has no idea that I own a business. She knows her dad has a company and he's really successful, but she has no idea what I do. And she told me in that moment, she's very emotional, she told me, I'm committed. I'm committed to letting her see that I'm a complete person because I know I don't have that much time for her to keep asking me, Mom, how was your day? And the next time she does, I'm going to tell her all the things, right? I'm going to tell her I'm a complete person. And then we both cried. This concept of, Effie said it as well, right? Like transformation does not happen in isolation. We don't exist as islands. When things happen, we need our people to rally around us, and it makes such an enormous difference. But it would happen sooner if we would ask. So I'm going to ask you to just take a moment. I'm going to give you a few seconds, and I want you to think to yourself. If you were to give yourself permission to be supported, what is something you would ask for? And I want you to just think about it. I want you to get that really clear in your mind. I'm just going to give you a few seconds. Think about this. And then if you have something in mind, I just want you to raise your hand. I'm not going to call on you, but I want you to raise your hand. I want to see, do you have something in your mind? Do you have something that you will ask for? Everybody get ready, because you're going to need it. You're going to need your something. It could be something big, it could be something little. Okay, great. All right, everybody stand up. Shake off all that big pasta. All right, I want you to pick one person at your table. Pick one person at your table. And this is one of those scenarios that if there's an odd number of people at the table, it's okay to have a threesome.
Oh.
All right. Do you have your person? Do you have your person? All right. So here's what I want you to do. Come back with me. I want you to pick who's going to go first. All right. 1, 2, 3. Pick who's going to go first. All right. I'm going to give you instructions. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to look at each other. You're going to look at each other right in the eye. And then you're going to say clearly. You're not going to mumble it really soft. You're going to say clearly, what is the thing you're going to ask for? You're going to take turns. Person 1's going to go first. Person 2's going to go first, second. And then I'll guide you through it. Okay, are we ready? Yes. All right. You're going to tell your person what it is that you're going to ask for. All right? Person number 1, go. Okay, great. All right, let's go to person number 2. Person number 2, go. And if you happen to be in one of those fabulous threesomes, it is now time for person number 3. All right, everybody face forward. Everybody face forward, stay standing. Oh, they really got into this. All right, let's come back. I want you to remember this moment. I want you to stay standing for me. And I want you to remember this moment. Because this is important. It's one thing when you have that voice in the back of your head, you know, probably for the past 10 years, you've been saying to yourself, I wish somebody would, I wish somebody would, I wish somebody would. And now you've formed it in your head what you're going to ask for. But today you made a declaration. Because now that ask exists outside of you. Right? And there's no take backsies. Like you have said, you're going to ask for this. Right? So what I want you to do is this week, right? We're Sunday, a whole week. I want you to make that ask. I want you to give yourself permission to be supported. And we're going to celebrate this declaration by doing a little chant. So I want you to kind of just follow me with this. I'm going to say it first, and then you repeat it with energy. Are we ready? Yeah. All right. I have permission to dominate. Let's do it again. I have permission to dominate. All right, take a seat. Woo! Give yourself a round of applause. It was powerful. Let's feel the energy. Yes. We have a lot more that we're going to do today. Katie's going to take us through a whole journey like it's not over. All right? So as we prep for the next portion of our day, I want to leave you with some thoughts. As your coach, Liz, my intention for you is that you take the time to find the splinters and start pulling them out. Give yourself permission to do all the things. Give yourself permission to know that you can be a complete person. And most importantly, every single day, give yourself permission to celebrate you.